Hi guys and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Shan. So today I'm going to be adding to my art school series, Let's Talk About Art School, by talking about how to deal with anxiety at university. So this is a personal topic for me. I was actually diagnosed with anxiety when I was 15 and it was GAD, so general anxiety disorder, and it's something that I've really struggled with over the years. So it's something that I've really had to learn to cope with on my own, and using internet resources and just trying things out, I've learnt a lot on how to kind of cope with it. And I actually managed to get into one of the top art schools in the UK and graduate with a first class honours degree. So you can do it. I mean, my anxiety can be so bad at some points that I can't leave the house. When I'm at a really low, I can't even get out the door. So you can do it. Like, there is ways, and today I'm going to tell you about how I've done it myself, how I've pushed through anxiety and how I've not let anxiety hold me back within university. So first of all, I'm going to talk about something that you can do at home first. So one of the most important things to do when you've got anxiety is learn that what you're feeling is anxiety. So when you're having a bit of a panic, or you're having a bit of an anxiety attack or a panic attack, the first thing to do is stop and just clear your mind and just tell yourself, this is anxiety, there's nothing wrong, there's nothing bad happening. Although your body feels like it is, it's not, and it's just anxiety. There's something wrong with your chemicals, your adrenaline. Your body thinks it's going into fight or flight modes, but it's not. It's just what happens when you've got anxiety. So the first thing to do is recognise it. So stop and be like, this is anxiety, what can I do to fight this? Do I need to relax? Do I need to breathe? Do I need to be aware of my senses? So doing that is the first step, really. So if I'm getting up in the morning, I'm getting ready for uni, and I'm starting to feel anxious, or for me, I'll maybe get a sore stomach, or a headache, or I feel sick. So there are a lot of like physical symptoms that you maybe think, oh, I've got a stomach bug, or oh, I'm not feeling very well. But the first thing I do is stop and I assess and I evaluate whether it's anxiety or whether what I'm feeling is real. So for me, usually it's anxiety. My stomach pain is almost always anxiety. So you just take a minute, you recognise it, allow yourself to feel the feeling, but know that there's nothing bad happening. So the first thing you want to do after that is learn healthy coping mechanisms. So what helps you feel better? For me, I used lots of stuff. So I had Rescue Remedy. Well, to begin with, I have my medication from the doctors for my anxiety. So what I would do is make sure I've taken my meds. So I've got up in the morning, have I taken my medication, or is that the reason I'm feeling like this? And then after that, I can use herbal things like Rescue Remedy, essential oils, things like that to just keep things on a low. And then other kind of things that I usually try and have on me or in my bag is like stress balls or slime, anything that's like squidgy and can keep your hands occupied, because one of the things that you kind of do is you fidget a lot. So if you keep your hands occupied, you can't, like, I don't know, some people can like rub their skin or nip themselves and not realise they're doing it because they're so anxious. So if you're keeping your hands occupied, your mind is subconsciously thinking about what you're doing with your hands. And another thing that I always make sure I've got with me is a really good deodorant and a good perfume or something like a body spray, because I suffer a lot with sweating. So when I'm really anxious, even when I'm getting ready to go out the house, my body temperature rises and I can perspirate. So I always make sure I've got a good deodorant. I've always got it in my bag so that if it's happening when I'm out or I'm at university, I can go to the toilets and sort that out. And another thing that goes along with that is wearing comfortable clothing. If you are someone who sweats a lot when you're anxious or when your anxiety kicks in, make sure you're wearing comfortable clothing, things that don't leave sweat marks, things that are not going to make your anxiety even worse. Some things that like are just small wee things, you're better to correct them before they happen. So be comfortable, Instead, if tight jeans make you feel anxious, don't wear them. Wear leggings, wear joggies. Like, you're here for an education. It's not about being stylistic or looking great every day. It's about feeling comfortable, and it's about overcoming your anxiety. Once you've got your herbal or your medication taken, you've got something to fidget with. You're comfortable in your clothing, you've got deodorant, you smell good, everything's fine. Another thing is, for me, I like to quite go into my own world, so I always have my phone fully charged and on me so I can distract myself. So distraction is one of the main things. If you're in class, maybe the stress ball or the putty can help, because you're not going to be distracted and you can still listen to your lectures or your classes. If you're on a break and you're starting to get anxious, or if you're on your way there and you're starting to get anxious, your phone might be handy. Or if you're on public transport, always have a pair of headphones, so you can just put your headphones in, you can sit on your phone and you can just listen to music, de-stress, or you can listen to a podcast or meditation music, something to calm you down. I really like the live meditation music on YouTube, but you can also use what do I listen to? I listen to like private jet noises. I think it's just white noise, but I really like them for calming me down. And then so the other thing that I use is kind of similar to like the stress balls and stuff, is like comfortable textures. So like, I've got a fluffy purse, so I keep that in my pocket, so that if I'm just feeling a wee bit anxious, I can just like touch the texture, and it just like, your senses are so important when it comes to anxiety. They say stuff like, when you're a bit anxious or you're feeling a bit funny, 5 things you can touch, 5 things you can smell, 5 things you can see, hear, taste, things like that. So it is important to keep these senses stimulated when you're feeling anxious. So they're most of the things that you can do on your own before you go there. Start practicing these things before you even start uni. In the summer, start going, right, what can I do to help my anxiety that's not hiding away in my bed, or that's not being comfortable in the house, you know? Or what is your anxiety? You need to kind of focus on, what are you anxious about? You're anxious about your grades? Well, what can you do to help that? Can you be more organised? Or is it about leaving the house? How can you make yourself more comfortable? Wear comfortable clothing, have your phone in charge, make sure you've got all your chargers with you, and stuff like that. So practice that before you start going to uni. So another thing to do just before you get into uni, closer to the time, is contact student support. For me, that's been a huge help throughout my 2 years at GSA, and for the first 6 months, I didn't take advantage of it, and I had a crap experience the first half of my time there. So go to student support. You probably, if you're going to open days and stuff, you probably have their contact details and their number or the email or stuff like that. So go to them first thing, tell them you've got anxiety. Even if you've not got a diagnosis, it doesn't matter. Just go to them and be like, I've got troubles with anxiety and I'm worried about going to university with them. And that's how you start off. So they can do things like making it easier for you to get out of class. So if you're in a lecture and you're starting to feel anxious, or your anxiety is playing up and you need to get out, because a lot of time that is how it is, you need to leave the situation you're in. So the student support can write you, in GSA it's called an IRF. So the IRF is basically information for your tutor about your disability or your anxiety or whatever you've got, and they can mention like, oh, if Shann's feeling anxious, she could leave the classroom unexpectedly, and she would prefer you not to question her about it because that would make her more anxious, etc. And then if you get up in the middle of a lecture and leave, they can recognise that as Shann's anxious, so she's left. So we know what it is, we don't need to question it. And you won't get in trouble, obviously, because they know why you're leaving. So things like that, and they can just really help make things a lot easier. Like, you can make sure that you're not contacted by phone, you're contacted by email. Make sure you can use your own transport if that's something that you need to do. They can just help you make adjustments to suit you and to help you, because the university wants you to pass. They want you to do well, and if you have a mental health issue or a disability that's going to hold you back. They want to help. They want to make adjustments and make it as good an experience as they can for you. So yeah, another thing that I done I found quite helpful was I met my tutors before I started university. It might not always be a thing that can be done. You might meet them the first week or so, but meeting with them privately so that they understood that I was a bit anxious and they understood who I was and stuff, that really, really helped. Just be open about it, just talk about your anxiety, and people will understand. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have pushed through, like, I have had so much things, like, adjusted for me. Like, I had things put in place so I could work at home. I didn't need to go in. Obviously, art school is a bit different from every university, but a lot of these same adjustments can be made. So I worked a lot from home. I didn't really need to go into the studio much. And things like lectures, like if I had to leave, it was fine. I could get things emailed to me. I didn't need to go to any like class talks with that. I could have information emailed out to me. I got things in advance. Like if we were going on a trip, I was allowed to use my own transport. I had parking space so that like I can't use public transport, but I can drive. So I had a parking space set out for me. Like there was just so much things that got me through university, and I'm happy and proud to say that even though I had crippling mental health over the past 2 years, I graduated with a first and I done really well. Yeah, so you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And yeah, if there's anything else you would like to know or want me to talk about in another video regarding mental health or anxiety, especially to do with university, then just let me know. I can give as many tips as I can. I can show things that I've done or arrangements that's been made for me, but I think this video's kind of covered what I wanted to say, that you take control. First of all, try your own methods. Acknowledge that it's anxiety. Keep your senses occupied. Get support, and then just work at your own pace. Do you know what I mean? There's no right and wrongs. Work at your own pace and just try to the best of your ability, and I'm sure that you will get through it. So yeah. So thank you for watching this week's video. If there's anything more you would like me to talk about in the art school subject, comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and turn the wee notification bell on so you know when my next videos come in. Thanks for watching. Bye.